Hey, hello. Hello. What? You couldn't do this one. Hmm, 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 hmm. So I just um did the oh God, I just forgot. And I'm not gonna have lighting help either. Yeah, well, hopefully it doesn't kill us. Oh, oh. Mhm, 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 mhm.
Hello.
Hey, you, how are you? Hello
Good. How
there.
are you? You're back to being outdoors.
So nice. How are you? You look great. Where were you?
I was just in Calgary, just over near Calgary to see my parents.
Were they?
Yeah. What's going on with you?
I just did an interview
Oh, good. How'd it go?
and it went good, but now I don't know if I want it. Like,
Oh, well, it's always the way.
like, oh, it finally happened. And I was like, but I have a few things going now. So I was like, well, if I get this, I can't do the other stuff. And it's like a good problem to have. We'll see if that actually happens. It was like interview two of four. And
Okay.
yeah, so I talked to her and it went really good. And so at the end, I essentially was like, listen, you don't end up hiring me. Don't worry about it. I didn't. I didn't come out and say that, but it was kind of like internally, I was like, I was so neutral that I think it just appealed to her more because I was just very calm, neutral. I know myself, and I was like not as usually like riled up and all over the place. So I was like, it's fine. I guess it'd be a great interview. How
So
are
what was the
you? What's
job?
going
What
on?
was the
Uh,
what
it
was the
was
job for?
It's so it's a B2B sub metering um concierge service for B2B commercial property. So it's a company that takes over the sub metering and essentially gets in between the relationship between the landlord and the tenant, handling the utilities and monetizing it for the tenant. So it's like a B2B pitch with a B2C adjacent. And I've worked in electricity and gas before, and they want somebody that can talk to the C-suite and translate things they don't understand. Um, yeah, so like I think she liked the film background because she wants presentation skills,
Yeah.
and she's having a hard time finding a marketer that is like coherent with the full funnel, which is like I was wondering what remember I was like, so of all the marketing roles, who's responsible for the revenue? You're like, well, that's not really one person. I'm like, well, now I get it. Like they want somebody who can look at it from the perspective of the money, but they know nothing about marketing. They don't know anything about how you're going to deliver the client in. But you apparently like she wants somebody to co-pitch the C-suite with her to handle the marketing department and the way it's going to be executed.
Hmm. Well, that sounds all right. Sounds like kind of up your alley, but you're like, maybe not.
I don't know. I made something up, so I couldn't get what I wanted. Like I there was just so many that was like I had 100 like balls in the air. And I wasn't getting the numbers I wanted. So I was like, okay, I think I'm just gonna make something up. And I started essentially I created this pitch. I just cold pitched it and started cold calling pitching a rule in real estate between the MQL and the SQL. So essentially, who's vetting the lead from the time it's generated in lead gen to the time they sit with the agent and all that revenue that's lost in that gap. So I just like, I have nothing to lose. So I just felt like I was like something a cross between acting and telemarketing because I have no script. I'm just winging it. And I'm calling to essentially mine, is this a source of contention? Is this a thing? Of course, I have to sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I have no idea what I'm talking about. So it ends up going, I end up like pitching, I don't know how many agents. Of course, I end up getting the meeting with the director of sales. And so it's fully it's fully a position. Like it is a role. I thought I made it up. I didn't. There are brokerages that do it. So the guy, the head of sales guy, was doing that role in the brokerage. So he's the one I end up calling and booked the follow up with him, got the interview. Um, so yeah, he's like, that's the ISA model, inside sales agent model that many brokerages implement. I'm like, smart. I'm like, just kidding. I was like, but yeah, it validated it. It's a thing. He's done it before. He's implemented it into he's like a uber high division, a high performing division of Remax. So essentially, he's kind of thinking of doing what I pitched to Dylan, a B2B um, real estate ecosystem where they can cross refer. So they're so successful as a brokerage, they want to start generating revenue through consulting fees. They're earning commission on Toronto properties, like, and they're the top 1% in the West End. So they've maxed out how much money they can make, and they now want consulting fees. I'm like,
Yeah,
cool.
well, that's good.
Right. It was kind of like me pitching a B2B ecosystem to Dylan in B2B cannabis. Um, so I got the interview, I did the interview, and it was one of those like long game relationships that was more so networking, but he was already talking about, he was like, so for instance, I know that the company I left is looking for a director of sales. They didn't work out. And so he was like indirectly referencing that, like, that would be a referral he would be able to make. So it was one of those interviews where it's like auditioning for a casting director and it's not for that role. You're banking it for other auditions. So it was like a meeting, but it had a lot of weight to it because I'd put that much work into building it. So it was just proof to me that I could generate the interview. And at the time, that was the first interview I'd gotten of all the stuff I was doing. So I was like, great. If I can't get a job, at least I can make one up because this is definitely going to be, at least I knew where to go. So I was going to focus on networking. I still probably will. I was just waiting to clear this interview so I could like reposition my LinkedIn. Like I can now. They're watching it. They're tied to the other positioning. So I don't know. We'll see. So I got like that ball in the air. Um, this one is like a full on like role. And I'd have to move. I'd have to be in. That's why I haven't left here. I don't know where I'm going. I'm waiting to see where I end up. They're in Markham, but they're moving into Toronto in the fall. So they want a hybrid role like your role in office 3 days a week. Um, just short term because it would just be until the fall, and then it's on the subway line here. It's like at Fairview Mall. So and it's a hybrid 3 times a week. Which at the time I thought I wanted because I'm tired of just being like exclusively online. I don't know. We'll see. What do you think? What are you doing?
Not doing well. It's kind of the break in between semesters, and I decided not to do a whole lot of work during it. So I kind of feel like I had a few days off, which was good because right at the end of the semester, I was already all done my stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, there's other professor went on medical leave. Could you mark his stuff?" And I'm like, okay," but I didn't realize over how time consuming it would be. So by the end of it, I had to tap out. I'm like, "Look, I've been at this for 4 days straight at my computer. My wrist, my shoulder, my elbow, everything's locking up because all I'm doing is clicking buttons to get between the stuff, look at stuff, blah, blah, enter like the rubric, click, 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 click." And I'm just like, can you get somebody else to mark these last two assignments? So, anyways, and then I went out west to see my family for a couple days and
How are they? Are your parents still together?
yep,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah.
Do they
Middle of
live in
farm.
like still the same farm that you grew up on?
Yep. They briefly
Really?
had moved to another farm, but then they missed the original, so they moved back. So yeah,
What do they do? Like, what's their background?
farming.
So, what does that mean though? You like
Uh,
agriculturally produce it, and then do they handle the sales, or do they just pass it off to a wholesaler?
well, it's kind of like you. It's a good question. I don't even know how to really explain it. It's like they grow wheat, canola, barley, like, and
Hmm.
usually they'll have either they can sell it at the time that they have produced it,
Make
so
it.
there'll be people
Hmm.
looking to buy it as they're harvesting it, or
Hmm.
they can buy, I don't know if it's called options or something, like they can
Hmm.
pre-sell it to certain
Hmm.
people for prices ahead of time. So sometimes they'll pre-sell it, or if they don't like the prices, they can store it. Like we have a bunch of granaries and stuff that to store the grain
Wow.
if they don't want it at the time. But you only have so much like storage space, right? So you can only store so much, and then you have
Hmm.
to truck it out and you have to sell it. So yeah, so my dad's kind of more semi, I would say he's kind of retired, but he's got kind of this deal with my cousin where he rents my cousin 2/3 of his land. And then the
Hmm.
other third he keeps for himself. And he kind of has my cousin crop share it. So like he
Hmm.
pays for all the inputs, like the fertilizer and the seed and all that kind of stuff. My cousin
Hmm.
helps him farm it, like to
Hmm.
actually put the crop in and harvest it. But then my
Yeah.
dad pays him to do that, but he gets all the revenue off of that third. So it kind of cuts
Right.
down what he does. And then kind of in exchange, he'll do some work for my cousin. Like I don't think he's really doing as much anymore. Like he'll drive combine and stuff like that. Not, so he's not really tied to
That's
whatever.
so
And
crazy.
yeah.
So
So anyways,
amazing.
that's
So you must be quite like the anomaly when you walk back into like small town, not like Alberta. What's it like going home? Does it feel different to be like in downtown Toronto and then go home? And does it feel like a culture shock?
well, it's funny because I had texted this to somebody the other day. I was like, actually, I should just find the text because it was kind of one of these little funny things of like just kind of like laughing to myself about the differences between like 2 days. Let me just find it and I'll just like read it to you because it was just like
That they sound quite modern. Like that's way more of a modern. It totally makes sense. That makes sense that that's the way you run a farm in 2026. That's
Yeah, so here's
interesting.
the yeah, so here's it. Sometimes my visit to Alberta is such a striking contrast to my life in Ontario. My dad picked me up from the airport, and on the way home, we stopped in town so he can show me the old railway luggage cart he restored for the station museum. I'm pretty sure I saw it a couple years ago, but he wasn't with me. Then we stopped at the arena because earlier that day he had donated an old saddle that he fixed up for the community garage sale, and he wanted to check on getting a photo of it before it's sold, but it was too late. Next, we had to go by my cousin Tyler's place where we checked out his new semi truck and a massive air drill seeder he just pulled up in to start seeding another field. Then we drove past our farm down to my quarter section through the field so my dad could check on a free flowing well because a couple days ago he's had the Hooderites help him dig down 6 feet so he could fix some holes in the casing. I ended the
This is
day
a
by giving
text.
this is a text I'm sending to somebody. So
Oh
this
my
I ended the
God.
day by giving the horses some grass, going for a 2 mile walk down the gravel road, and mostly losing at cards. The day before, I started the day with hot sex and berry, had lunch on Queen Street, a meeting at a wine club, visits exhibits at the AGO, and then had Thai for dinner. It's just like it's like they're just like as far apart in the entire world as you could probably get in terms of a day. It's just
You are
like
super versatile. Yeah, I hear you. It's a
it's
strong
just
skill
funny.
set. Very malleable.
Well, I don't know. I
That's
didn't have to
amazing.
do anything. It was just kind of funny. It was just like, what I do is like, I had dinner with my ex the other night in Toronto and we're walking down the street and um, there's this like, the whatever you call that thing death carries, the scythe, the sickle or whatever,
The
death always
large,
has that large pole with that like hook thing on it.
yes, yes.
Anyway, so whatever that is, there happened to be one just randomly leaning against the side of this building. And so we were talking about what the name and we're talking because he used to be he also grew up on a farm. And so then we're like, oh, like that thing they used in the old fashioned like harvest where they like use it to cut down the weed or whatever. And then I turned to him and
Hmm.
said, yeah, I haven't been to a threshing in a long time. And the threshing is like how they used to harvest all the grain.
Hmm.
We just looked at each other and I'm like, yeah, I bet you no one else in Toronto is saying that right now at all. So anyways, it's just I find it comical sometimes.
It's yeah, it's super. I've been adjacent to a few different environments. It's crazy to go back and forth between the two.
Yeah,
Um,
kind of like your
who's in
world.
Barry?
So
Is this the Muskoka guy?
yeah,
This is the Muskoka guy. So
this
not the
must.
firefighter.
No, I said that like the Palm Springs trip was fun, but he's Vancouver. I'm not doing
You
Vancouver.
went? Oh my God, you went on the trip and you still turned it down. So it was a real invite. She takes the real invite, rules that out, and goes for the Muskoka guy. Nice.
Yeah.
Hmm. Cool.
Yep.
What's going on with George Brown? Are you going to be there in the summer?
I got one course through the whole year, and I got half of a course. The front half, I have one course, and the back half, I have another course. So I have like
Oh,
two in total, but it's really three, but like one plus two halves, and then I'm just waiting to hear back from Centennial. I was supposed to have a class there on Mondays, but then I got an email a few days ago saying they were having low enrollments. They might have to cancel some, but I haven't actually gotten an email saying I'm not on. So I think I have
mhm.
one class there on Mondays. So we'll see.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then can you just do brand heroes around that? Or do they just call you when they want you for an hourly, whatever?
Yeah, well, I have one project that's kind of ongoing with them that I'll need to get out the door by the end of May and then get into market. And then after that, it's just more like, it's just more like touch base here, touch base there. So once it's up and like once all the pieces are done, I'm kind of pretty much done that except for monitoring. And then
Hmm.
we're wrapping up, I think. Well, there's another project that again needs to get out the door by the end of the month. And then again, that will be just monitoring or will be kind of done. And then another one we're trying to wrap up right now and it'll be done. So then I'll have, oh, and I have like a week-long training session in Niagara Falls for one of our clients the beginning of June, and then that won't be over as well. So yeah, I don't know, everything's kind of
Cool.
on its downswing, so I'll need some new work
Maybe you'll get
soon.
to relax this summer. Maybe you'll do something fun and have a low key summer.
Yeah, well, I have the three courses, so that'll, be enough of a mess to not be able to go anywhere or do anything. And then plus, if I have no money coming in, then I kind of don't like to spend it if I don't have it.
That's so mature of you. You're
I
exactly the kind
know.
of friend I need. With what did you say right before that? You said you don't want to spend money because you're not making any. What did you say?
Oh, I just said I have courses Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so it's hard to do anything when you have
Oh,
like you know what I mean.
right,
I can't really go anywhere in those. Yeah.
right. Except for the
So
weekend.
anyways,
You do fun
Well, there's
weekend
stuff on the
things.
weekend. If I can find weekend things, I
Uh,
don't know. I'm hoping the same with Charlie will work out because he's got a cottage up in Muskoka. So then I'm thinking I'd have to be able to go
I
there
have an
once.
ex with a cottage. So, okay.
Mm.
We're still friends, and I've been back there since. Yes, Lake of Bays Cottage, Muskoka Cottage is amazing. So, does he live in Muskoka full time?
Yeah.
Really? And is he
Yeah.
working? Like, does he use like Wi-Fi and just work out of his Muskokan property?
Well, he used to be bonds and derivatives trader down on Bay Street for like 20 years, and then I guess he got tired of that. And now he runs like an arbory lot clearing business up in Muskoka. So
An arbory?
yeah,
What?
like they cut down trees and they clear lots
Oh,
and stuff. So yeah, so he's got a business doing that. So it's kind of completely like a
oh,
180
wow,
degree switch from what he used to do. But he's got I guess, a team of people that do most of the work, and he sounds like he does more of the sales end of it. Although sometimes it sounds
wow,
like he gets in there and does the work too. So, anyways,
nice. That's interesting. Which app did he come from?
for me,
Which app did he come from?
which app?
App. Which app? Which dating app did he come from?
Oh, Plenty of Fish.
Never been on that. Never been on that. Uh, that's great. That's fun.
Yeah, I guess if
Um,
he saw it more because he lives in fucking Muskoka, and like
I think you're having fun. I think you had an okay time the last time. So why don't you just fucking see if it's fun and just keep
it is
doing it?
fun, but I'd
Don't.
like to be doing more of it because he's like got me locked down.
Oh,
He's got me locked down. So it's like he's like, if we're gonna explore how this works, then I don't want you seeing any other people. And I'm like, well, it's a little early for that, I think. But he was quite jealous about the other guy I kind of see once in a while. So I was like, okay, well, fine. I'm willing to like explore this because I think there's potential here. But then it's like if we don't see them enough, then what's the point of having things locked down? So I'd
right.
rather it's not like I can't
Yeah,
talk to other people. So I'm kind of at a no, I'm a little bit between a rock and a hard place with do I want to even continue this? Because if he doesn't start seeing me more often, like he had a really busy
right,
month, but he doesn't start seeing me more often, then I'm like,
right. Yes, I hear you. He wants monogamy, and we'll see if he has the availability to actually command that. Otherwise, that's presumptuous, and I fuck who I want until you.
well, then he's not going, he's then he's out, right? He's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I'm like,
He's,
okay, well,
and is that always like I never had that. Maybe that is just the way it is. Do you find that like it's the general dynamic is the woman wants something serious, they want something long term, and the guys want to fuck and keep it loose? Is that like the way it normally plays?
I don't know. I mean, it's been freaking 30 years since I've been in the dating world, so I have no freaking
Oh,
idea
right.
what
Yeah, exactly.
you're
Well, I
asking.
can
The
tell you that's
like,
not how
absolutely.
I handle it. I'm like, they do not have that kind of leverage. But clearly, you're into him enough that like it's worth pursuing. Can you like? Do you ever talk to him and be like, so investment wise, like where are you at? Like, can you feel him out and be like, or do you just literally sit and wait to see if he initiates shit?
Well, it's pretty early on, but like, it's like he texts me every day. We talk every couple of days. We've gotten together a few times, but he's got some kind of reason why he can't, or I'm busy, I'm out of town or whatever, right? Like we literally met just right before I went to Mexico, and then I came back, and then I went to Palm Springs, and then like so half of it's on me. And I was busy
Right,
marketing, and like so 50% of it's
right,
on me. And the other 50% was
right.
like he has some kind of snowmobile trip, and then his kids coming up to do snowmobiling, and then he had I don't know. And he's moving between his winter place and his summer place, and like I don't know. So it's
Oh,
like a
I see. This guy predates the fire guy and all the other guys. Like this guy came in like after your ex, but he's been around for a while. This isn't anything new. But now he's
since
saying,
well
I don't want
since
you
since
seeing.
mid February. Oh no! As soon as I came back from Palm Springs, I think he was jealous as hell because he thought
Yeah.
I don't know he had some kind of he's like he's really kind of
Monopoly.
he was standoffish when I got back, and then he's like, "Can I ask a question?" And I'm like, "Oh, this was by text," and I'm like, "Sure." And he's like, were you online talking to other guys where you're gone? How come you changed one of your pictures? And I'm like, I wasn't
Oh,
online while
dude.
I wasn't online while I was away because A, I was with somebody else. I didn't say that part, but because I told him I was with a girlfriend. And then B,
Tanja.
the picture has always been there. So I feel like you're being a little possessive. And then, so that's when he's like, well, I'm out if you're gonna be doing other stuff. And I'm like, well,
Oh my God.
so I thought it was a little pushy, but like, he's pretty hot and he's really nice. And I'm willing
He's
to just,
nice.
well, he's
He better
nice.
be nice. That doesn't sound very nice. I hear you. Is he being like straight with you, or is he like, I don't know, because I don't have like, do you have
I
good
think I think
chemistry?
he is because I think he's not and I kind of said, I said, well, if you want this to be exclusive as we
Right.
figure this out,
That
then
makes
obviously
sense.
this works both ways. And
Right.
so anyways, I'm
Yes,
assuming that.
totally.
So anyways, either that or he's totally playing me. Who knows, right? I don't know.
No,
But I
I
don't
think
really
you're
think he
right.
would ask for one if he's not. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think you're right. I didn't realize how long it had been going for. And honestly, that would fuck me up too. If you were with somebody and came back, I think he was hurt, scared, and acting like a dick because he can't say that. And like he's afraid to lose you now. And so he's putting on like as though he's in
yeah.
control of that. But I think that
It's
probably
only
screwed
been
him.
since the middle of February, but still, like I would have liked to have seen him a little more than we've seen each other. So, anyways, this is going way too
Right.
deep into my kind of love life, but
Sorry.
it's like, what else
I
is there
learned from
going
your
on? That's
mistakes.
it.
That's
That's nothing. Yeah, I got nothing going on except for that. So,
you're dating way more than I am. But that's
well, I
probably
wish
a
I was
good
dating
thing.
way more, but like I barely see the guy, so what's the point?
Well, I mean, you are super busy. I mean, you do have a full life. Like, what's your ideal? If you like, do you want like, do you want to leave your house and like partner up completely?
I think eventually I might.
Okay. So it's like not really worth it to pursue anything with somebody that doesn't want that.
Right. So
Okay.
either I'm just having fun or I'm having fun while I look for Mr. Ray, you know what I mean? Or Mr.
Right.
Right now
Just
or
I hear
Mr.
you.
with potential.
Okay.
So this is a Mr. with potential and
As
but
long
then
as
I
you're
have to
having fun.
yeah, well but then I have to cut out the fun I was having elsewhere. So oh well.
I don't know. Like after a certain point, though, don't you just want to restrict it to one person? Like, how deep can it really go if there's other people involved? Do you know what I
Oh
mean?
no,
Like,
absolutely. I absolutely want to do this. That's the thing. I've never really been a like a date
you
around
don't
or
want to be
both
superficially
friends.
doing it. Yeah, your point is it just goes both ways, and that's not what you're showing me. So, yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Well,
Well, it's
yeah, like
great.
I see you I need to see you at least once a week. But I'm not putting like parameters in it, but like
No, you shouldn't have to lay out KPIs. Right. You
exactly.
should.
Unless I see you
Let me give
1.5 times
you.
a week on average, and we speak every 2.2 days, then like
Right,
I'm not
right. No,
measuring
it's
it.
just a vibe and it's not reciprocal. Right. So now it's like, well, maybe now, you know what I mean? Maybe you've seen him for a bit and now he's seeing how much he's into you and he's not cool with taking it that superficially. So we'll see if he steps up and like changes as a result. Maybe he is just poorly communicating and was like not cool with, jealous, but came out not like you're within your right to do it and I'm jealous and I want to see you tonight. He's just acting like a dick. And yeah, I hear you.
So what's going on with you?
It's going well. There are gentlemen with their uniforms. Um, no, it's going well. I booked so there's this job that I'm not dating anybody. I'm sorting out myself professionally so I know where I'm going. There's something I really want to I'm writing it already and I want to produce it this year. So I'm kind of laying out all the moving parts that I'm going to need in place to actually be able to formally pursue it. Um, uh, I'm in this interview queue now, and I'm waiting to see if because my plan, if I don't book this or like before it came up, was to have like a strategic network entry into real estate. That was the decision. That's where I can make a huge impact. It's a ton of money. I can negotiate a performance that has performance commission tied to it. So it makes a lot of sense to pursue real estate. And I, based on the way the numbers were going with application to interview, I was kind of just like warming to the idea that I was going to take over this and kind of settle into that. Um, which I won't be able to do if I take a full time role. So, um, but I don't even, yeah, it's just kind of, there's like 100 moving parts and I have to see which lands first. So I'm just feel like I'm setting up like the structure for what I want to build for the rest of the year. Um, that's been taking up a lot of my time.
I think I just thought
Um,
of someone else you might want to talk to. You can find them on my LinkedIn profile. Her name is Jennifer Pugsley. She's with a company called
mhm,
Goose Digital, and they're big into marketing automation. So I feel
yeah,
like they could maybe use somebody with your skill set in terms of, like lead generation and all that kind of stuff. They work primarily in the insurance industry.
you said goose marketing?
It's called Goose Digital.
Oh, digital.
Yeah, and her name is Jennifer Pugsley or Jen. I think it's she goes by it's Jen or Jennifer Pugsley.
Cool. Um, do you ever do you end up having to turn down full-time contracts because of your relationship with George Brown? Like your availability wise? Like, do you prefer deliberately to just take contracts versus committing to somebody full-time professionally?
Well,
Establish you want to do that
it's hard to
personally?
do something. It's hard to do something full time when if you have your class time booked, right? People usually are
Yes.
not that flexible. So that's the contracts that I've just never really looked for a full time job after I
Oh,
started doing the teaching. Like, because originally I
hmm,
was working in marketing at George Brown, and when they eliminated my position, I
yes.
just started teaching more because I was already teaching a bunch of courses. And
Yeah.
then I just started teaching and then picking up other stuff kind of along the way. So I've never really looked for a full time job. So
Oh,
that I'd probably have to give up the teaching or just teach one course or something, and they'd have to be flexible to let me do that. So I don't know.
hmm,
Yeah, so I had a good couple of years in terms of like income. So now I think the things are changing again because there's not really the work at the college sector happening anymore. So maybe I'll just change my mind. But I got a lot on the go with Brand Heroes, so it's kind of relying on me a little bit. So I don't know if I can. I have to be very conscious about backing away from that. So.
right. You could also consult specifically in education and really leverage your experience with the colleges. Like state, I just met an American. I use this thing called Focus. I don't know if I ever told you about it. I work on FocusMate, which is it's this awesome. It like exploded just like Zoom over the pandemic. So it's
What's
for
it
people
called?
that
Focused mate?
Focus Mate. I've actually meant to mention it to you because I was going to suggest, I didn't know if you would want to do it. So I ended up bringing a few of my friends onto FocusMate so that we can work together. It's a great way to like work with your friends, but you don't get off track because the time, so you meet up with people all over the world. You book a session for like 25 minutes, 50 or even 75. If you are, once you like people, you have favorites, the algorithm pairs you up with them. So like I now have friends all over the place that I work with. I just see them on there. They're just booked in. And so you open up, you both, it's just to manage your own time. So you both just check in with what you're going to do over the next 25 minutes. You both go on mute, you do your own thing. And then in the last 3 minutes, you just quickly check in on how to go, blah, blah, blah. So it's really like saves me from a mental health standpoint, just in terms of like relationally talking to somebody else, breaking up time, like structuring tasks. And there's some people that use it to like do laundry and cook. They just do it to structure their own space. Anyway, I started recruiting on there. I'm like, this is a funnel. I'm talking to people every 25 minutes. I want either a real estate agent or a recruiter from each of these people. So that last 2 minutes, I just started gearing towards it. I just met this guy in education. He's in Portland and he runs a tutoring company. So he's coming from an educational background, but it's now essentially like a B2B service. I think splintering different revenue streams under an educational umbrella. I don't know. Just thinking,
And
what
so
are you
what
doing tonight?
just tonight I wasn't doing anything because my son took my car to go to Ottawa, so I'm wheelless. I'm probably just gonna work out and maybe
I didn't
do
know your
some.
son lived with you. He lives in the house with you?
No, no, he lives has a condo downtown. But he came
Oh,
and
right.
got my car and then he was going to Ottawa. So
Okay. So you stole the car, taking it to Ottawa. When's he coming back with it?
Friday night, I think.
Tomorrow night. Hmm.
So I gotta figure out how to get downtown. I should book an Uber to go to the GO train station tomorrow morning because I have a class at 8 or 9 downtown. So
That's nice of you to give him the car. Is that like, does he do that all the time?
no, I think it's the first time he's borrowed it. And I've had that car for 2 years. So he had a car, like he has a car, but when he moved downtown, he didn't need it. So I took I didn't renew the plates, so we can't
Hmm.
really take it. So
Right.
it's sitting for so long, I don't think it's running. So anyways, his car's sitting over his dad. So anyways, he needed a ride, so he borrowed mine. I think normally would have preferred his dad's, but his dad is busy with his mother's broken her hip and stuff, so he's got all that stuff going on. So I'm like, yeah, okay, it's
Mm.
probably your turn to lend him my car. So
How old were your kids when you separated from your ex?
16 and 18.
Mm, interesting. Um, so are you, what are you up to over the next like months or so? What's your plan? You're going to do the agency, you're going to do a couple classes at George Brown, and you're going to
Yes.
vet this Muskoka guy to see if he can deliver the availability you need.
Yep.
That's the
I guess
plan.
that's it. That's it. That's my plan. I like you're focusing on my goals here. What are you accomplishing during the next couple of weeks? This is awesome. Okay, yes,
No,
I used to do
I'm just taking on your concerns as my own just to support what you want to do. I'm just repeating back to you what I've gotten from this call.
Yeah, no, we're also running. I'm also trying. I think I told you I'm starting this corporate learning company with the guy from Brand Heroes. I'm trying to do like training for
You didn't?
corporations. Yeah,
No,
oh, and
you
yourself.
didn't tell me that.
Oh, okay. So anyways, I'm doing that. So we need to get on that. I still haven't built a website for it. Like we started the whole process last summer. And so anyways, we've made like we only brought like two people kind of up to speed on what we're doing. So we're going to run an event in, I think middle of June. And then we got to actually get out and talk to like our contacts and stuff to say, hey, this is what we're doing. Do you know anyone? This is here's our catalog of services or catalog of like learning modules that we are planning. Plus we can do custom. So yeah,
And what's the service? Like, what would be the role? What are you guys actually
any kind of
positioned to
training,
do?
right? So I think we'll probably start focusing mostly on like marketing training. So, um, like,
Oh, I
train
see.
your team on marketing or building your leadership brand or your own branding or how are you bringing your brand to life or that kind of thing.
I
We can do,
see.
just how to do
Like
social
an
media or how
in-house, bring them in and have you with their team.
yeah, or we could do it
Like, how
online
to,
too, but it's kind
interesting.
of like a little mini class, like a little workshop kind of thing, like 3 hours or a whole day, whatever they want to do. So that's the plan for that. So either we'll facilitate them, or if we're not the expert, then we'll bring in outside facilitators to kind of like run the sessions if it's in like something that's not marketing related.
Hmm. So it's essentially training and presentations. And if it's not marketing, you're going to outsource to different areas, but it's actually the actual service of being bringing in the presentation.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And who was the guy that you said you're doing it with?
Mike Leon from Brand Heroes. He's the guy who owns Brand Heroes.
Oh, it's the agency. I have a god sister, and she specializes in autism, and she worked for years at a camp called Camp for Concord, which was specifically for young adults with autism and developmental disabilities. And eventually, she did her master's at TMU and ended up with him, having had like this long-standing relationship with him. They ended up together um, launching Concord in the City. And it's now like a full-time company in Toronto with the camp still going as a part of the service. But um, yeah, reminds me of her and him. That's great. He must clearly like working with you and want to do other stuff with you.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we're fairly complementary in our terms of our skill set, and I think as a business owner, I think you also like I think you end up getting a little bit lonely. So when you have someone else around who can talk marketing and you can bounce ideas off, I think he's enjoying that
That's
piece
why
of it
I
more than
like
me.
you too.
I
That's why I
think.
wanted, that's why you were my avatar. I'm like, I clearly loved, I wanted somebody I can talk to about sales funnels, marketing, conversions. Yeah, that's like a big help. So he's lonely and he just wants to be able to talk to somebody that he likes.
I know he's actually very good at networking. He knows tons of people. I'm just speculating too, like in terms of I think is also
Hmm.
because I'm a little bit more senior than just bringing in somebody junior too. It's like he doesn't have to hold my hand. Like I can kind of come in
Mm,
and ask the questions and add value right away. So
right.
anyways, yeah, and
That's what
we're
I
like
said
more
to
work
the
focused.
interview today. I ended the interview, I think what I said, I'll have to check back the recording. Um, uh, I was like, oh, I tied it to like my goal. And I was like, so just so you know, like I'm excited to go through this like interview process. My goal is to be shortlisted. Like in acting, when you're auditioning, you want to get into the final cut, like the cut of 3 to 5. After that, you have no control over it. It's going to be decided. Everybody in that cut is good enough to do the role. And from there, it's going to be something that you can't control, like another moving part. So I think just because I had that attitude, I was like, I'm sure you're going to have strong people in front of you. And yeah, I think she was just taken aback that I would even consider what the process was going to be like for her and that there'd be anything else on my mind other than me booking the job. So that was good.
Yeah, good. Well, I hope you get it.
Hopefully it
It'd be
doesn't throw
nice.
it off.
Nice to have, you can always say no if you get it, but it's nice to have the offer.
I don't know if I'll be able to say no if I get it. I won't really have an alternative. I'll be like, no, I'm going to make up a job instead. Nobody's
Uh,
offered me another one. I just am going to make one up. So I'll turn down this. I don't know. It will be, I'm not going to think that far ahead. I'll just prep for the next, like, I learned that from fucking auditioning constantly. You're only going to book like out of whatever your numbers are, like 3 out of 10 or whatever it is. I'm like, I better enjoy this process and have it be like a self-standing entity. Like, enjoy the audition and the prep for the audition for that. Like, have it be self-standing and the outcome independent with the role as much as you can be. So I'm like stretching to make sure I grow from this process so that if I don't get it, I'll be like stronger for the next time.
well,
You know what
good
I
for you.
mean?
That's awesome. Such a good
I'm gonna
attitude
go.
about that.
It's what?
I said you have such a good attitude about that. I love that.
Oh, yeah, maybe like proactive. Um, yeah, no, it would drive me nuts. I go too crazy with shit I can't control. Like I try to separate my reaction and like the various emotions that I'm going to have from like the way I'm actually going to respond to the situation. It's practice. It just comes from like long standing like being so reactive that it causes negative consequences in my life. So now I'm like super focused on like the way I'm gonna view it because otherwise I'd be like depressed as fuck. Like I've been like interviewing and doing this for how long and like didn't book the role with Dylan and like no, I wouldn't be able to like no, I would have probably imploded by now, actually.
Julio. All
Um,
right. Well, I'll let you
okay.
go. Nice
It's
chatting with
really
you.
nice to see you.
You
You
too.
too. Stay in touch and I hope you get your car back intact.
Okay. Me too. Me too. All right.
Bye.
See you. Bye.